after 45 days or 30 days or whatever it was, looking at the same walls, I had to get out. I had to like get outside and just have some type of normalcy. So I invited the guys that were in my neighborhood on my street and on the neighboring street, and I said, you know, I'm gonna put a log fire pit at the end of my driveway. I'm gonna put the chairs, you know, the lawn chairs out. It's going to be spaced well away from each other. If anybody wants to come over and have a drink, guys, I'm pouring some bourbon. And we ended up having quite a good turnout at first. It was cold, so we met in my garage is heated a little bit. We met there first, and then we moved it out when it warmed up a little bit to the end of the driveway, and we brought over different kinds of alcohol, bourbons, you know, vodkas, and we just sat out there. We created a fire because it was cold, and we just dealt with it, and we dealt with it for 6 more weeks, and then things started happening as far as announcements. Lollapalooza, you know, was canceled in Chicago. Right. All the towns started, you know, canceling a lot of their plans. In May, early May, Lake Bluff canceled the 4th of July parade. And this now was like, you know, 60, 70 days into the lockdown. And I come from pharmaceuticals and biotechnology. I understand clinical studies. I understand disease states, and you know, so I gravitated to, you know, the seasonal flu, and you know, how many patients get this a year around the world, how many die from it, etc. Right. And I knew a couple things. I'm not a scientist, but I knew a couple things. I knew that viruses and the flu, they don't like the sun, they don't like heat, and they don't like outside, which is a reason why last year you saw, you know, lower rates of this during the summer and into the warmer months of spring and summer as you did then in October and November. And so back in May, I was saying to myself, why is Lake Bluff canceling the 4th of July parade, which is like the pinnacle of the event for the town in the year, a couple of months ahead of time, when you're talking about it's going to be 4th of July, it's going to be 90 degrees outside. And the moment, literally the day that they canceled the 4th of July parade, I was thinking to myself, you know, what in our history as Americans, like, I'm a history guy. Yeah. History and political science minor. You know, what did we have that was anywhere near this? And I kept coming back to the British with the colonial states, you know, on the East Coast, and the British saying, you know, you need to pay your taxes, but you're not going to get the representation. We're going to tell you what you need to do, and you need to comply or else. And that's what I kept tracking to when I was thinking about the governor's order. And I thought, you know, I think I'm going to give my little neighborhood group, we're going to formalize this. I've created campaigns in my professional career. Yeah. We put labels on things. And so I was like, you know, so if it's like the British telling the Americans what to do, put on your mask, and the Americans are saying, you know, go pound sand, back in the early days. Yeah. I thought, well, who assisted, you know, the American response to what Great Britain was doing? It was the Continental Army, of course, under George Washington, and it was state militias. And I thought, okay, so we have the governor that's ordering, you know, this lockdown. We have municipalities now that are eliminating all this stuff from us citizens. I was like, Lake Bluff Militia. That sounds pretty good. Like, this is a group that is going to fight for the rights of the citizens in the community because it appears that no one else, in the federal government, the state government, or the local government was going to do that, because humans are social animals and they require nourishment and socialization.
You
And
should have
so-
called yourselves the Beastie Boys. You're fighting for your right to party.
Fight for the right
It's like-
to party. I love
There
that
you go.
song.
Okay, got it. Okay.